The stories definitely mirror things that are happening in the world now. I think that unfortunately it mirrors things that have been happening in the world for, probably thousands of years. I think when you start dealing with media and propaganda and battles of, over the airwaves, I think that's more of a modern idea, but something that we see all the time. But I think you'll find as the story progresses that the stories itself are not so black and white, and that I think it's much more about the idea that when in war, it's always messy. It's not black and white. It's much more sort of shades of gray, and it's never very clean, and there's always consequence. So I think, quite honestly, with the stories, that's the important thing to take from it. What we decided to do, we started talking to Lorde about creating a song for the soundtrack. And she and I had some conversations, and then from that, we decided it would be interesting if she completely curated the soundtrack. So part of the deal was, we're not going to vote on people she wants to go on the album. This is entirely up to her, as long as the songs are appropriate for the movie. She gets to choose the songs, she gets to choose the type of music, she gets to choose the artist she wants to work with, and that's what she did. Those were all her choices. So it's all from the mind of Lorde. We always knew the range, the general area in the book where we wanted to split it. We did go back and forth a little bit sort of within, I would say, 5 or 6 scenes. We kind of bounced around just a little to test the right feeling, but I think I'm really happy with the way this one ends. So I'm pleased with the result. One of the themes for sure is really that you can sort of see the kind of power and the kind of change that just one person can have. I mean, I think, we experience these movies through Katniss's eyes, and I think she's somebody who is, at the beginning of the film, just starting to understand what she means to the rebellion, but still doesn't quite believe it, which I think makes her a very relatable character in the story. And then partway through the movie really starts to understand, oh wow, I am really important to these people and I can make a difference. And that's when she finally embraces being the Mockingjay and starting to make a real change. And I think that's one of the important themes and could possibly galvanize kids. Jennifer's character has been through really horrible things. I mean, at the opening of Catching Fire, she had some post-traumatic stress. She has to go through the games again, so obviously she has, even more post-traumatic stress at the beginning of this film. But she's also been betrayed by the people that she trusts. She's in a foreign place. So what she and I would do is really just look at the situation and try and be as honest and as real as possible. And we spent a lot of time talking about the arc of her discovery of what she means to the world, to her world, and how she takes that responsibility on. In terms of losing Phil, it was a horrible, horrible thing. He was a friend. He was a great guy. He's a fantastic actor, and it was something that we never got over. But he was almost done with his work, and we're not doing any kind of digital trickery or anything like that, so that we didn't have too many scheduling issues whatsoever. But it was just something that we, quite honestly, never got over. She's very involved all the way through, and I have to say it's fantastic because she comes from screenwriting and playwriting and TV, so she understands the difference between a novel and a screenplay and how things have to change. She was also really open to and supportive of the world expansion that we've done, so she always thought that was really fun because it's not really a change, it's kind of expanding the story and getting to see things that could have been happening during the course of her book. So she was very open to that, but what she's fantastic at is really tracking all the characters, and she really, really, really knows the characters and their emotional and psychological states. And so if we ever started to sort of get off track a little bit, she was fantastic at sort of being our anchor and bringing us back in with Katniss or with Gale or with anybody. She was a fantastic partner in this.